What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'm going to be reviewing a beer from the Sweetwater Brewing Company, and they're out of Atlanta, Georgia. And this is their Dank Tank Fresh Sticky Nugs, the 2018 edition. So in the can, they're calling this a Hazy Imperial India Pale Ale. Comes in at 8% alcohol by volume, 60 IBUs. And at the time of review, this beer is just a few days before the best by date on the bottom of the can. So we cut it close, but we did it. Yeah, we did it. And I want to give a huge thanks to a good friend of mine and fellow beer tuber, Rod, over at Rod J BeerVentures, for hooking me up with this one. He sent me a beer mail recently, and this was included. I will post a link in the description box to both Rod's channel and the beer mail unboxing I did of said goodies that Rod sent to me. So thank you again, Rod. Truly do appreciate it. So true story, this is the first Sweetwater beer that I'm ever trying, period. I know a lot of you in the South or even in the Midwest are going to be like, what? What do you mean you never had a Sweetwater beer? Well, in New York State, they do not get distribution. I think the closest state is Pennsylvania, but I think they've only started getting distribution over the last year or two. And I've seen them a few times in PA and just haven't picked up any of their stuff. I know they are a pretty big regional brewery in the South, and you know, I just never been inspired to pick up any of their stuff when I saw it on the shelf. And yeah, so I'm interested to give this one a go. They have a big spiel, a big spiel here on the side. But what I am trying to gather from this is what hops they're using, and they luckily list it. Strata, Denali, and Mosaic. Now, I've had Strata and Denali recently in some beers, and Strata produces like a very heavy cannabis / marijuana character, which when you're naming the beer Dank Tank and Fresh Sticky Nugs, you know what I mean? Yeah, I get it. And Denali is a weird one as well, but I am curious to see how this one is, just because, I don't know, a lot of things going on, some unique hops, and it just sounds like it should be a lot of fun. So let's crack this one open, get into glass, see what we got going on. I'm gonna use my Thin Man glass here. So the first thing I can tell you is, yeah, it's hazy, no doubt. It is hazy. It pours out this really deep orange color. It almost has like slight red tinges in there. Definitely murky, about a finger of an off-white head, looking quite creamy. Plays the role, turn it around so you guys can see it a bit better. But yeah, it plays the role of a New England style Imperial. They say hazy, but let's be honest, they're going for the New England style. Come on now. Get a nose. So definitely can tell this one has a bit of age on it. Closer to the best by date for sure. Has bigger malt characters like caramel and slight toffee tones, white bread. But then there is a nice dankness here too as well. I wouldn't say honestly off the top marijuana or cannabis. It just has like a generic dankness. There's definitely some underlying tropical tones of this one. Mango, guava, passion fruit. A slight nondescript red berry. They're using Mosaic in this, as I mentioned, and you would think that maybe I would be getting blueberry because I typically do, but no, more like a nondescript red berry, like a raspberry type. But aside from that, yeah, this is a bit sweeter on the nose. Like I said, closer to the best by date, so you know, I don't expect it to be huge and juicy and whatnot. It's more balanced than you would probably expect from the style, but it makes sense. Anyway, let's get into this one. Cheers, everybody, and thanks again, Rod. Yeah, so pretty much what I expect from a beer like this that's probably going on 3 months old. Caramel, white bread, right at the forefront, quite sweet. As it passes through the palate though, the hops pop in. I wasn't getting it in the taste, but more of like a citrusy, like orange character. Almost has, with that caramel, it's almost like caramel drizzled orange slices. I've never had anything like that. I imagine they exist, but that's kind of what I'm getting. As it finishes actually quite balanced. You would think with the sweetness up front, it would just carry on through. But once it gets to the back of the palate, it has a slight bitterness to it, but also a slight dryness to it to kind of, it's still leaning towards the sweet side of things, but it does have a decent balance to it. 8%, I can't tell you this is 8%. I'd probably guess 6.5. The mouthfeel, it's soft. The body's like straight up medium body. 8%, I'm cool with that. Yeah, this isn't bad at all. Not what I was expecting. As you probably tell, I didn't notice, or I didn't say anything about like a huge dankness or cannabis or marijuana or anything really in the taste, and it's not here. If the Strata is supposed to produce that, and you know you're mixing it with Denali and it's supposed to be a really dank beer, you think I'd get this. I do feel that age has kind of played with this one a little bit. Probably a lot, actually. I don't know how this was, a couple weeks old, but the fact that it's closer to the Best By date, yeah, I don't know. It's not a bad beer. I'm actually digging this. So rating on the Dank Tank Fresh Sticky Nugs 2018 edition from Sweetwater, I would give it a solid 3.5 out of 5. It's a drinkable beer. It's enjoyable, but I don't think it's exactly what they intended the beer to be. Now, Rod sent it to me, and this is a couple weeks after he sent it, actually like 3 weeks. And with the holidays and stuff, I wasn't reviewing beers, and I had a whole host of other beers. So the reason why I'm drinking this, not super fresh. Then again, by the time I'm drink this, Rod sent it to me, it was probably already 2 months old. And then again, you have the Best By date on the bottom. It says 1/13/19. I would prefer just have a canned on date. That's my preference, because I don't know if they mean 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. So many different breweries are, going with different stuff. So, I went on a rant. I'm like Greg over from Greg's Beer Reviews. I'm going on a rant on the actual numbers on the bottom of the can. But they do have a Best By date. It's under it. So, I'm rating it appropriate on how my palate feels this one is. 3.5 out of 5 is where I would put it. So that was Fresh Sticky Nugs, part of the Dank Tank series, the 2018 edition. 3.5 out of 5. It's not a bad beer. At this point, when you see this review, I would not pick it up. It's probably out of date at this point, and just not worth it. Probably other beers on the shelf that you'd rather drink. So appreciate Rod sending this one to let me try it. My first experience with the Sweetwater Brewing Company, it was all right. Maybe next time it'll be a bit better. Anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by. Till the next one. Cheers.